I think every person playing with mods has heard the phrase mod load order, but what is it really? How am I supposed to order my mods correctly? And how do I make my mod collection work without crashing? Luckily, today's video is all about the mod load order and how to properly arrange your mods in Stellaris. Before we start, here's a little disclaimer. Although a correct loading order is important and can solve many problems, it's not an ultimate solution to all mod related issues. So if you're using outdated or incompatible mods, this video will not help you. Mod load order is basically how your mods are arranged in the Stellaris launcher. In Stellaris, mods at the top are loaded first, and mods at the bottom are loaded last, with the mods at the bottom overwriting the ones on top, giving them a higher priority. There are different kinds of mods, and they have to be placed accordingly. Compatibility patches are mods which solve conflicts, and improve compatibility between different mods. They always need to be placed below mods they patch. So for example, a patch between UI Overhaul Dynamic and Ethics and Civics Classic needs to be placed below these two mods. Submods are dependent on a main mod to function, and they need to be placed below it. The best example for this is Real Space and its submods, which need to be placed after Real Space to work correctly. If you ever see a mod with an exclamation mark in its title, always place it at the bottom, and the more exclamation marks it has, the lower it goes. If you ever see a mod with a tilde in its title, you place it at the top, and a similar rule applies here as well. The more tildes a mod has, the higher it goes. There are also total overhauls such as Stellaris Evolve, which may not be compatible with a lot of mods, due to the fact that they overwrite a lot of game files, and they add a ton of new features. When it comes to Stellaris Evolve, you should always let it overwrite as many mods as it can, and place it at the bottom. Also, you should always check mod descriptions on Steam for more details about mod compatibility. This way you will always know what could be causing issues, and if there are any compatibility patches. Patches such as the merger of rules, universal resource, and universal modifier patch will solve a lot of incompatibility issues between different mods, so you should definitely add them. Also, you should avoid using outdated mods. Stellaris constantly gets new features and reworks, which means the code also gets changed, and in many cases outdated mods will simply cause issues, so you should always keep this in mind when searching for mods. Alright, so now that we know the basics, I'm gonna show you a general way of ordering mods by sorting them into different categories. I prepared this mod list over here. Keep in mind this is simply for demonstration purposes. I have no idea if these mods are actually compatible. So up first we have general patches. In our case this would be the Arifeos unofficial patch, which we're gonna move all the way to the top. Next we have AI mods, so in our case this would be StarNet AI, but there are also different mods that fit into this category, for example Glavius AI, StarTech, etc. These mods alter the base game behavior of AI in Stellaris, and you should always use a single AI mod in your playthrough, because if you use more than one, things can get really messy, so unless you know what you're doing, always stick to one AI mod in your playthrough. The following categories are pretty much self-explanatory. Next we have map generation mods, so these are basically any mods that alter how the Stellaris galaxy generates, so in our case this is more natural looking galaxies over here. We're gonna put it at number 3. Later we have music mods, name lists. Next we have species mods, so in our case this is the Edict Show Its Species pack. If any mods fit this category you should put them here. Then we have trait mods, so for example in our case this is V-traits. Any mods that alter traits or add new traits or somehow affect leaders, you should put them below any species mods. So the next category is content addition mods, and this one is very broad, so it could be for example event mods, origin mods, any mods that add new archaeology sites or anything story related. So for example it could be the precursor story pack, which adds new archaeology sites and other things to the game. This could be Endless Frontier, an event mod, which brings new events to the game. Even More Origins also fits this category, so we're gonna put it over here. After that we have flag/emblem mods. This is pretty much self-explanatory, I don't have to tell you what this category is. Anything that adds new emblems, flags, etc. should go below content addition mods. The next two categories are also purely cosmetic, room/background mods. So for example it could be the diverse rooms mod, we're gonna put it over here, and diverse basics. Then we have cityscape mods, so we're gonna put them over here. The next category is federation / vassal mods, so pretty much anything that alters or adds new vassal types or federations. So for example, viable feudalism and imperialism, empire federation, or vassals expanded and reworked. The next category is also very broad, and basically anything that doesn't fit any of the mentioned categories, and any categories that I'm about to mention should go below federation / vassal mods, so anything that doesn't fit into any category. So in our case this could for example be L cluster plus, a mod which adds a bunch of new things to the L cluster and makes it more interesting, so we're gonna put it over here. So next up we have shipset mods, which add new shipsets. So for example we have the Borg shipset mod, we're gonna put it over here below L cluster plus. Then we have technology mods, and this category is also very broad. Mods such as gigastructure engineering, ancient cache of technologies, extra ship components. So in our case it's this mod over here, we're gonna put it over there. Any mod which adds new technologies, etc. fits into this category. So then we have space affecting mods, so for example this could be real space, anything that affects space generation, so basically mods that add new star types, new planets. So then we have a specific category solely for UI overhaul dynamic and basically any UI mods. Then similarly we have a specific category for planetary diversity, so planetary diversity and all of its submods. We have a couple of them over here. So then we have any tradition / ascension perk mods, so basically anything that brings new traditions and ascension perks to Stellaris. So for example we have expanded Stellaris tradition and expanded Stellaris Ascension perks. Then we're gonna put any ethics and civics mod, so this could be for example like ethics and civics back branch, empires expanded which adds new civics, government variety pack, anything which adds new civics, ethics or alters any of these two. Then we have UI overhaul overrides, so any mods which alter the appearance of the UI overhaul mod. So in our case this would be UI cyan, which is basically a recolor of the UI overhaul interface. Next we have mods which add tiny fixes or tweaks to the game, nothing really significant. So for example this could be the Crisis Manager, mid-game and end-game edition, aggressive, crisis engine, etc. Basically any mods which add tiny fixes or tiny insignificant improvements to the game. And the last category is patch mods. This is also a very broad category, so for example you have any patches between different mods, general patches such as universal modifier patch, universal resource patch. So now we have all of these UI overhaul dynamic patches between different mods, so we're gonna move them all the way over here. They're at the bottom, which means they override all the mods that they are patching. So I think this is pretty much it. I've shown you the general way of ordering mods. Keep in mind that this is just a general way of how you should order mods. So for example, if you put a music mods higher or lower in the playlist, nothing bad should happen. This is just a general way of how you should do it. In some cases, of course, you shouldn't really break this order. So for example, if obviously you have any general patches or AI mods, they should be put at the top. And the same also applies to any patches like universal modifier patch or resource patch, they should always be at the bottom. So I hope this video will be helpful for you guys. If you want more content like this, let me know down in the comments and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to also check out my mod showcases where I go through different mods and showcase their mechanics. So yeah, I will see you in another video and goodbye.